I did think it was funny, like the moaning about how crowded a place is when you've just been to that place as a tourist.
Welcome to the Insiders Audio Nights. Welcome my esteemed colleague Matthew Hayes. Malikum salam.
Good evening, sir. How you doing?
Yes, I'm pretty good. I'm absolutely exhausted.
Yeah, what's on? Where are you?
I'm halfway between Agadir and Tagazout, which I can confidently say is the new Bali.
Where you are or Tagazout?
Tagazout. Well, where I am, it's the same thing, really. It's only
Yeah.
5 kilometers away. Bali's an island. This little peninsula, I don't know, it's like about 25 k's between, probably a little bit longer from the airport up to Tagazout, and then you've got another 20, 30 k's up to Beach Break, Cymru, and I don't know. I've got a feeling that half of European surfers are here.
Seems like that. Um, yeah. It's a good topic to start on Morocco. I have a friend who has just got back from Tagazout and I won't name where he was staying because it might be a competitor of Pure. But yeah, he had an awful time basically, and he had that kind of horrible thing where he was moaning about the trip that he's been on, and he was having his conscience tell him like, "How can I moan? I've been able to go on holiday on a trip to Morocco," but he hated it, like because of how the lineups are, how the locals are, how there's, from what he says, like a complete lack of etiquette and kind of any kind of organization in the lineup. Pretty adamant about how dangerous it's getting because of how the lineups are running. Um, so yeah, it'll be interesting to hear your thoughts from on the ground.
There's, I've I've been saying this the last couple of years at the same time. This is my third or fourth year in a row coming down here. I come down here for work. I've got a friend down here. He's got a couple of surf camps and now just opened a new hotel, which isn't necessarily a surf hotel. It's about 5 minute drive from a big golf course here. It's kind of like a luxury hotel, 4 or 5 stories. I think you can fit about 60 people in. The surf camps that we've got going, like I've been saying for a couple of years, they're dead set beginners. So I think it's just, you know, this has been my best trip in 3 years. I've scored incredible waves. It's been really tricky. But like my previous couple of years I was down here on actual team meetings. I had a couple of bosses down here with me, and then a friend. So I was a little bit restricted. But this time I was on me Jack Malone again, and like I told my friend here who owns it, Richie, I said, look, I I've come in for a couple of days, and then I'm going south. As it turned out, I'm going north. I don't know how long the coastline is between Casablanca and Dala, but it's pretty massive. I think we're looking at 1600 kilometers.
Yeah,
Uh, it's the oldest one in the book. It's just a case of originality. Everyone's coming here and complaining about being here. A lot of people
yeah,
do the same thing. Everyone goes to Hossagor and complain about the crowd at the Gravier. Everyone goes to Queensland and complain about the crowd at the Superbank. Everyone goes to California and probably complain about trestles. Everyone goes to Hawaii and complains about pipeline. So, you know, uh, once you start reading between the lines, I think you're going to be all right.
I did think it was funny, like the moaning about how crowded a place is when you've just been to that place as a tourist. I feel like that's a that's a really funny um kind of place to be because you're the problem. No matter, and it doesn't matter how good of a surfer you are, like beginner or elite level surfer, you can't moan about tourism to a place if you're part of the tourism in that place.
There you go. Now, here's another interesting one, which I was able to dissect again this week. There is a hierarchy here. There is an organization. The locals get the waves, and they call you off everywhere else if you go to one of the popular spots. Now, here's a thing for an advanced surfer uh, uh, that can be hard to digest. Is a lot of the times these are people with limited ability or less ability than advanced surfers, or younger, or all these things as opposed to, for example, in the past, Hawaii was an extremely localized place, which the whole world adopted the local heavy rights. Like I think Hawaii set the standard, would have been like in 60s, 70s, how there was the black shorts and everything. But a lot of the times, for example, in Hawaii or snapper or trestles, the locals rip. Where here, because it's such a new sport, some of them rip, but it's not that yet there. So you've got people calling off your waves that who will then completely fall off. But they're still locals here. They can't travel the world to get better at surfing because they don't have the income. So really, like, what are you going to do? There's kids out there with holes in their wetsuits on old boards. You know, aren't
yeah,
they allowed to have a little bit of the international cake pie?
and that is the thing is like I do think like obviously I've never been to Morocco to surf. Famously had a trip booked for me to go to Morocco and they booked Marrakesh, which is funny. But never been there to surf, and I've heard a lot of stories, and I've heard a lot about like people moaning pretty much. And I do think I've seen videos, and I do think there is a problem with people who don't understand their own ability, and they probably don't understand how good of a wave like and how powerful those waves are in Morocco and things like that. And sometimes you get in, you hear stories of surf schools paddling out to boilers and things like that, and you're like, you shouldn't be out there. And then obviously there are locals out there, and I agree with you. It's the same as Indo, right? Like you say with Indo, like you go to there and you kind of really check yourself on like what you've got to moan about, like when you see people wearing like holy wetsuits or boards that are like 15 years old or more with like big holes in them or chunks out of them because that's like that person's treasured surfboard. Um, I also don't quite understand again because I haven't been there, but I would have imagined more people do what you've been doing, and it doesn't seem like that's the case. I I always hear people go to like Tagazout and then they just stay there, and I'm like, well, surely that coastline is littered with spots.
Yeah, you just gotta get proactive. You just gotta get out of here. It's an incredible spot for a dead set beginner or a local because, like beautiful weather. It's just insane. And I'm not going to say don't come to Morocco. And I'm not even going to say don't come to Takasut. I wouldn't be if I was intermediate advanced surfer. I wouldn't be doing it and coming here. Maybe coming here for a couple of days, which is what a lot of people adopted in their Indonesian sojourn. I can't remember. Indonesian vacation would be. This was a typical an Australian advanced surfer over a long period of time. Go to Indo, spend 1 or 2 nights in Bali, have the full party, see the vibe, get out of Bali, go to one of the other islands, wherever you go, do your surf trip, come back, 1 or 2 nights, leave.
Yeah.
Same thing here. I mean, like, what are you going to say? Like, look at the Maldives. It is a
Yeah,
very good example. I talked about this to Paul Evans on our ill-fated podcast that we struggled to edit, but we'll do another one. Um, People want uncrowded waves. Hey, what do? They go to the Maldives to private islands. They go to Fiji and spend, um, I don't know how much it is, Tavarua. Let's say it's $1,000 a night. I think it is. It
yeah.
possibly is. So, unfortunately, my advice for a young surfer who's my new advice is get yourself a hell job, uh, make a shit ton of money and go to these private places, or be prepared to really fight and rough it and go somewhere that's deserted. There are still spots, but you're going to have to tough it.
I also think there's a power in um appreciate what you've got in front of you as well. So the people I know who went, they live in places in England where there's waves. It's
Yeah,
not
they get back
it's
and then all of a sudden it's like, fuck, I can just serve my own spot. I'm
that's
not gonna
literally it.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna shit on it anymore, am I?
literally. And you're kind of like, well, you know, one way or another, it's I guess it's a way to get the appreciation of what you've actually got versus like, it's a bit like the Instagram versus reality, or like the grass is always greener. You see these videos of people in Instagram surfing, like just seen an edit from Victor Bernardo and Asher Pacey on in Morocco surfing these perfect right hand point
That was
breaks on.
last year, I think, wasn't it? I think that
Yeah,
was last year when they come.
yeah, earlier this year or the end of last year. I think it was the end of last year because it was in line with the Safi thing. Anyway, um, or it might have been this year. Anyway, you see them riding perfect wave, perfect empty right hand points in Morocco. Then the reality is, for 99% of people, not a chance. And to be fair, Victor and Asher hunted waves out. They're not, surfing the most popular
Got that
point.
extreme ability that they're able to go and surf a spot that other people wouldn't be able to surf. I
Yeah,
saw a spot today, and I didn't have any of my guns with me. I had a 6.5 pintail and a mini male that I brought with because I saw the forecast, and I bought my fantastic acid flat
I saw that.
modern
Yeah,
displacement hole uh, because I thought, okay, look, it's looking small, and I scored on that board. I scored some great waves, and then it picked up. And today I went and checked a couple of spots. I'm not going to name a spot, but one spot was 6 to 8 foot long rights, looking fun as hard entry into the water, hard out of the water, but with four guys out. Now, you want to have uncrowded waves? That's what you got to do. Now,
yeah,
I ended up surfing a spot, which is a very popular spot, just before the tide got good for it, and was out with four guys who were intermediates. One of them, I don't know how the hell he got out there, and had my session of the trip today in the smack bang middle of Las Vegas here.
yeah,
So that was luck. I'm not going to say it was experience, um, patience, and luck because I waited till 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. before I surfed.
yeah.
Didn't go for the early. So, you're just going to have to. It's not just Morocco. I think I think that's good surf advice for anywhere else in the world as well.
Yeah. And I think that's like again when you travel or even at your home breaks and stuff. Like there's days
Yeah.
where I won't. There's like North Fistral is the like closest wave to me and the best wave to me. I rarely ever surf there because it's where most of the people go, and the people that go there are really good. And I'm like yeah, you go do that. You go fight for
Yeah.
that. I'm not gonna bother. So then when you travel, like why do that? Like there's many a time when I was in Portugal at the Pure Camp down in Zabiao, and we like the guys I with ripped, and they went and surfed like the busier spots, Zabiao and Beliche and whatever. And I would just go and find like a little the other end of the beach even sometimes, and you're on your own. You just got to think a little bit like not saying people aren't in Morocco, but and obviously it's I've not been there, so I don't know how easy it is to drive up and down the coast and access the waves and stuff like that. I can't comment, but sometimes I do think like you know before you even go on a trip to Morocco, you know that like anchors and boilers is gonna be busy.
Well, there's an interesting one. Like I was surfing at this spot today, and a young French pro I knew yelled out to me, Noah Dupuis. I've known
Yeah,
him since he was 7. His dad, and uncle used to have a surf school, so they used to come in all the time for softboards, boards, everything. And he yelled out to me, and we started having a chat. And then I saw this other kid, and I know him, and I wanted to say hello because I know his dad, Tava. I can't say his family name. Bushgaya. So he's like one of Morocco's best surfers. Huh? He was that close to being. Um, on the Moroccan team, obviously he had Ramsey in front of him, I think for the ISA and stuff like that. And I went and I said hello to him and I said, say hello to your dad. I said, my name's Darren. He said, yeah, I see you around Hossegor a lot. And we were talking. I said, man, I was pretty happy to get this with not many people out. He said, yeah, it's a bit bigger and the tide and stuff. And he said, tonight you might be able to go to this other spot. It'll be a good tide and a good size. I said, I don't think I'm surfing again tonight. I wanted to pack my bag up and I'd had a big week of it. And I said, where are you going to go? And he goes, I think I'll go to the point. I said, of course you will, because he's from here. He's
yeah,
one
yeah.
of the best dudes. So, like, you know what I mean?
But
It's
that's
like
like
if
even when
if
I
you
when I
meet,
come to France. I come to France and I come and see you and you're like I'm gonna go surf Estagno because that's like your spot and I'm like yeah fuck that that's like I'm not doing it and sometimes you're like nah you'll be fine and I'm like nah I'll go surf up by Fipsies where it's empty like
hey,
because you have to go up the beach or whatever but and that's what we have to, that's how it works that's just how it works.
if you meet Nathan, if you're in on the North Shore and you meet Nathan Florence at the cafe in the afternoon, and you go, "Hey, you come for a surf this afternoon?" He goes, "Pipe." You look at it, go, "Yeah, me too."
Yeah, oh, I'll paddle out with you like what time do you want me to meet you like
Just ready for a coffee straight away.
yeah.
Talking Nathan Florence, there was an article about on him. I wanted to bring this up. He's Red Bull now. He was talking about plane and car versus boat travel and things like that. And is he the dude with the biggest carbon footprint in surfing at the moment, you think? Is he taking over from Kelly?
But um, without going too deep on it, he must be quite high up there. Um, I wouldn't say he's taken over from Kelly because Kelly's still involved with Firewire, and I think that has a pretty big carbon footprint, as well as some of the other shit Kelly's involved with. But yeah, he's I haven't read that article. Find it a bit weird because I know there's some stuff in there about health and about working out and numbers and stuff like that. And I'm like, but you're endorsing Red Bull.
Are we fair in saying that maybe it's something to do with American culture as well, that the environmental surfer cool on part of nature part might exist on one level, but it's got nothing to do with someone like Nathan Florence who doesn't seem to care about anything. I'm not going to get into judging here. Full high performance, go everywhere, make as much money as you can, stocks, have as many stickers as you can, do everything to. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, I think the best way to put it, or the best way to look at it, right, is John Florence got approached like this is like fact. He got approached by quite a few energy companies, energy drink companies, and this is some knowledge I know. He went back to them all and said, like, are you interested in working on, a natural energy drink? And only one came back to him, probably the least known one, which is Machu Picchu. And he has worked with them to make this um, natural energy drink, which is with um, what's the drink that they drink in like South America? It's like mate. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So there's that route, which he's basically he could have got more money somewhere else,
It's
100%.
sponsored by who I want us to be sponsored by as well, Vivo Barefoot Shoes.
Yeah.
And his model, the Gobi, is 100% organic and recycled. I
Yeah.
think that's
He takes that road. So he's like, if I'm going to put my name to it, I want it to tick these boxes that align with me. And then Nathan, in the nice way possible, is like, yeah, I want to make sure I do things good for the planet. Of course, he probably does, but like, wait, actually, if I can I
I
get
don't
some good
think I've
money?
ever heard him say that.
Nah, it's more like, oh, you're going to pay me more than those? Sweet, I'll sign for you. Like, that's it at the end of the day, and that's fair enough. Like, you know,
Is it fair enough for the rest of the human race? Well, that's another topic which I think we need an
question
arming
would
act,
be what would we do? And I would
a
probably do the
fireplace.
same.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, there was a couple of things that dropped. Uh, ah,
There's a penny that's
video of the
dropped.
year. The video of the year.
Wow,
I don't know if
you're
it
calling it
came
video of the
in.
year?
I'm calling it video. There's a very loud motorbike out there.
I
It's
can't hear it too bad, so I think we're good.
okay. That's good. Um, Video of the year drop, or no, what do we call it? Clip, clip of the year for me dropped. I think it was November, so it's not a December clip. Harry O'Brien,
Harry Bryant roasted.
Harry Bryant, not O'Brien. What is it? Is it
Sounds good
roasted?
though.
You sure it was roasted, toasted?
Roasted, 100%
Roasted.
roasted. Yep.
Best clip of the year for me. Am I the Harry fan? I am the Harry fan. Best clip of the year for me. Fucking best song, best soundtrack of the year.
Yeah, the Afro Man song.
I've been listening to it.
So good. So good. Um,
So good.
I really, really did enjoy the edit. I was, like there's loads of it like his surfing is unbelievable. I love the bit in I'm gonna guess it's Fiji because he's with James
What
Kusano.
a what a tube style. What
Wow.
triple A plus
Just
chapeau.
style, like and
Style,
a
style,
new
style.
new like techniques. I was super intrigued by the boards that Harry and James were riding. They're not like what you see every day. And
Fantastic.
I thought it was amazing. And
I
this,
just think it throws all these people that have to, the people that get caught up in, oh yeah, but he's riding a short board, and then blah, 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 and then
yeah,
Harry just throws a bowling ball
him,
down the thing and knocks all the
Harry
pins
and
away.
Tosh Tudor are the two. Like you look at Tosh Tudor's board as well. But anyway, we're talking about Harry. Um, his boards are intriguing, and the second half of the edit or clip or whatever we want to call, believe is in China.
Hey, we're not going to say where it is because I don't think it was. I think it was somewhere else. But
Where do you think it was?
I'm not going to say where it was, but
Am I
I think
close?
well, it's part of Asia. Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. It's not up to us to say where it was. But perfect left, then a perfect right. Like I just think there was a 12-minute clip as well. Didn't go on for too long. Tick the boxes, watch it, everyone. And I don't think I need to tell people to watch it, but
I'll put this.
I just thought it was
What I
just
also thought
colourful
was sick
boards.
is
I
the
love seeing long boards.
yeah, and what I thought was sick as well is a couple of the clips where he's like carrying his boards or transporting them. You can see they've got repairs and they're dinged up and stuff. That he's not like not like again each their own and stuff. But you hear the stories of Medina turning up to every event on the tour with 12 new boards waiting for him, and he won't.
Oh,
And then
it's
like
ridiculous.
stuff, which I think is absolutely mental. But seeing someone with like that orange and yellow
Yeah,
Kia thing on the
the
quad.
swallowtail. But he
Yeah,
had that on Ireland, eh? You can see the
yeah.
repair on the swallow. It's
Looks
probably
so
something he
sick as
doesn't
well.
surf all the time. He knows he's going somewhere. I'll throw this in.
Yeah, definitely. Probably like the wrong person to say this, with my track record, but like there is definitely something about not surfing too many boards, like just dialing in.
Yeah. Hey, I came with two old faithfuls. Well, one's only this year, but it's the one I bought at the start of the year when Fipsy left his old shaving company. And it was the board, the same model, the Yo, that I had one of the original Yos, which was a 6.4 that I took to the Mentawais in 2016, which was one of my best ever boards. So I saw this board that a guy didn't pick up because it had they sanded through the lap on the deck, and then with the acetone, it had a bit of a white mark. Uh, 40 litres, 6.5, pintail though, and I knew it would work.
Yeah.
And also my fantastic acid, which I've had like 4 or 5 years now. And that's it. If you like, today I was like, yeah, but if I had a gun, which would have been good, but
Yeah, but you can't.
just find the waves that suit your boards.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about um something that I've kind of experienced this week that I think that you might have experienced this week as well, but we wouldn't have known about it. But so I had a random day off from work, and the waves in Cornwall have been we've got this swell that's basically massive. Well, it's pretty big swell, and the winds and stuff, they're okay, but you're basically having to hunt out some spots because like all of the main spots are just like massive, like I'm talking genuine, like 8 to 10 foot. Um, so I knew of some spots that people go to kind of hunt out, but I'd never been there before, and like one of them's like I don't want to blow it out. One of them's like a certain
Don't
type.
blow it out.
I won't blow it out, but
Just
even if I say what it's like, it might blow it out. So one of them's a certain type of
but
setup
don't.
where you like the paddle out isn't obvious, and I was looking at it and stuff, and it made me think about you because I knew you was in Morocco and stuff, and like solo, solo kind of um swell hunts or like wave hunts or kind of goose chases um to spots that you've never surfed before. That's a whole different level of like kind of weirdness.
It's incredible, man. I'm telling you, like I was talking to Paul Evans the other day. We didn't bring this up. There's a film. Lucky I reminded me. Well done, Matty. There's a film on YouTube at the moment called Listers. Huh? Now, I got this off of Chad Smith, I think, David Lee Scales podcast. It's a bird watching film. It's maybe 2 hours. I'll send you the link. You got to watch it. It's not something that you're expecting. It's the film of the year. I think, I wonder how many it's had now. When clicked on it after thinking, oh, I might have a look at that, it had like 2.5 million, 2.5 million
Views.
views. I sent it to Paul because he actually is a bird
He
watcher.
loves birds. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like, and then I'd seen him, we went for a surf. I said, oh, did you watch that thing? And he goes, no, I haven't watched it yet. And then he sends me this message, like, I forget when it was, but it was just like the classic, are you kidding me? Thank you so much. And then he's told me him and all the kids have watched it. It's one of the best things. Now, if you see a bird you've never seen before, it's called a lifer. It's the first time in your life you've seen this bird. Huh? And like, for example, I went on a 3 day trip north, and I surfed three different spots at this place over the 3 days, a different spot each day. And it gave me more satisfaction, I think, than any trip I've had in many years because I was able to do that instead of surfing the same spot every day. Surfed a
Were they?
different spot every day.
And when you got to those spots, were they kind of because obviously some places it's simple, like you see it.
They weren't necessarily simple. One of them had to kind of go down a cliff and stuff, huh? But other people were
Yeah.
doing it.
Right.
They
Okay.
weren't
Yeah.
empty, but yeah, it was. And then I got a tip from like the Airbnb, which I thought I'd heard about this other wave there, and we stayed at Airbnb or a booking, this Slovakian girl's got this, like, that's what Morocco is. That's now the new normal in the world. She'd come down here a few times, loves surfing, opens up her own Airbnb, it's called a
Yeah.
surf lodge. I don't know if it's whatever. It's got 5 rooms in it. And she's, oh yes, on this tide at that size. Well, that spot might be watching. She's not even a core surfer. And I'm looking at it. I already knew what the forecast was, and I was thinking, well, that's good for the morning. And then I went and checked, and yeah, amazing. It's just even where you live, if there's beaches, you're going to have new spots because of the sand, correct?
Yeah.
Same on the sunny coast. Same on the sunny coast. You've got a bank that's good. So if you got to keep on the move. If you
I
don't
had
keep on
that.
the move, you're going to die.
I was sat in the car park and I was like, where the fuck do I paddle out to get like I could see
Yeah.
quite a clear rip going the wrong way. And I was like, well, I'm going nowhere near that. And then I was like looking, I was like, where the fuck does and I was like I was getting changed like quite slowly, kind of thing, thinking, Someone please turn up." Like someone who surfs this all the time, just turn up so I can quickly follow you out or whatever. But ended up it was all right. Like I done what I didn't want to do, which was like just paddle out like in line with where it should have been. Like because I was like, it might just rip me apart, like or rip me down the beach or whatever. It didn't really. It was actually all right. Kind of timed the paddle out quite well. Um, I mean, it was like
Did you get a euphoric feeling of satisfaction that you'd surfed a new spot?
I'm gonna go with 50-50. Yes, I got a good feeling of like, fuck, I've discovered the spot. I know where to come now and what to do when the surf is like really good.
Like that?
And
Yeah.
afterwards, I spoke to someone who I know lives around there, and he was like, "Okay, you probably like the tide. It was a big tide that day
Yep.
because what happened was I got in, and
But
then
you
like
didn't get it 100%
the waves were a bit
dive.
like lumpy and like backwashy, but you couldn't. It didn't look like it was like that. Like when you stand on the beach, it looked perfect, but when you was out there, it was one of those sessions where it was like you took off and there was a lump coming back at you, or there was backwash and stuff. And basically, I then spoke to someone afterwards and was like, "Oh yeah, perfect spot to go to today, but you was an hour too late, but it was a
Mhm.
massive tide today, kind of thing." And I was like, "Right, okay, really good feeling of like I've looked at the forecast and kind of the next 2 weeks are all this. It's literally massive, like for no reason."
Oh, it's massive. I get back tomorrow afternoon and I swear I can't see under 10 foot
Yeah.
for 2 weeks.
So this spot's like a 45-minute drive from me. So it's not because of the time of the year and stuff, it's not possible to do with
Every
work.
day.
It's not possible to do a Dorney or an after work at the moment, and I can't really do it
You're,
in the day because I'm at work.
but you're stinging for next Saturday then.
Yeah. But so I did have that good feeling, but it was also like I like drove away and was like, fuck, I can't
But
remember.
that's
I
how it
genuinely
starts. That's how it starts, Matthew.
I
It's
just
rare that you're gonna hit pay dirt on the first roll of the
yeah,
dice, bro.
yeah. But I cannot remember the last time I'd surfed a wave, especially in England, like where you live or wherever. I'd surfed a wave for the first time on my very own, like kind of thing. And it was a bit of a weird feeling. It was nice, like I said, it was a good feeling, but it was also a bit like I kind of I kind of wish I had a mate to go through this with. So if it goes all to shit, like at least we
It's
can.
good. It's good to do that with a mate. I actually met up with a young French guy that I'd met this year who did a bit of work for me, and I met up with him on this trip as well, which was cool as well because like we had to do a bit of a walk to one of the spots, so you're not doing it all. It can be a little bit sad by yourself. I'm not as hardcore as some dudes that are just like, it's just a bit boring to do. I'll do it if it means good ways, but it's always okay to have one mate. I think one's the max. You
Yeah,
don't want more than one's. I'd rather be by myself or one max. Hey, so
one's the best number. Yeah,
so there's another interesting one that you brought that up because I saw this other spot that I'd been checking out last few years, which I was kind of keen on surfing. I didn't know where to get in because the times I've been there was no one in the water, conditions weren't right, and I just happened to be up on the highway looking at this spot, and I saw it, and I saw this dude catch a wave in. There was only four dudes out. Not many people were getting waves. I'm telling you, it was quite complicated, but still beautiful. And I'm like, I saw this kid, and I go, oh, he can surf all right. And then I seen him veer around this cliff part, and then he was up on, so he'd gone up through the rocks. And I was, that's where you do it. And he
Mm,
had booties on. So now I know what to do next time I come down. I've been
yeah.
keen this spot for a few years. I'll come back with booties, a big board, and I know what to do. But that was scouting over a few different years without like walking up to someone and go, hey dude, where do you get in the water? Like, which
You
is
can't do I
do
wouldn't
it,
be
but
able
you
to
just
do that.
kook or koi is
You
kook
just
me either.
can't. You
I
can't.
don't. You
If
just
someone
got to
walked up to
learn.
me and was like, "Where do you go?" I'd be like, "Home."
Well, keep your eyes open. Keep your
Yeah.
eyes open.
Hey, so
Ah,
I wanted to quickly mention yesterday our Spotify Wrapped like came out and we had 29 people that we are the number one podcast for them, which is
thanks.
incredible because that
Thanks, whoever you are.
we only have one mum each, so there's at least 27 other people,
Unless your missus has got 29 aliases.
maybe. But so Callum Morgan Jones, Kian Power, I hope I'm pronouncing his first name right, and 614 Shapes, they've all sent me screenshot proof that we are their number one podcast listened to.
Hey,
All with over,
614, he's always giving us the comments. Thanks, man.
yeah,
Woman. And we'll
always,
keep coming back and at you. We're not giving up yet.
yeah, I want to call 614 Shapes out actually, because 1,589 minutes is how much he listened to. But Callum Morgan Jones is 2,316. Like,
614 shapes. We might be trying to send you a message to do a bit of board testing. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
haha, yeah, he's a good guy.
Thanks
He's
again,
a top guy.
all our listeners. I wanted to mention another one. I sent you the 4 minute 50-second clip. First opening day of Jaws. Did you watch it?
No, but I did see an
Oh,
Albie clip.
gotta watch it. Yeah. Gotta watch it. Albie, he's just the man. What a
Yeah.
fantastic, heavy wave. Tucker, tell me his name.
Uh,
Tucker
Wooden,
Wooding.
yeah.
World pre premier, premier,
Premiere.
premier, premier drone footage dude. I reckon he's up there.
Yeah.
In fucking incredible.
That's yeah. I'll
Opening
have to
day
check
at
it out.
Jaws, I thought Albie gets a wave that is worth 10,000
Yeah.
backhand re-entries
Fuck yeah.
or
And
frontside air reverses.
locals running it.
Which is interesting because remember we talked about him. I saw him, he was fucking up in wherever it was, Iceland or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Full
No, I
wetty.
was thinking, oh, he's struggling there and that sort of stuff. Of course he is because his forte is 20-foot frontside knifing pits.
Yeah. With fucking avalanches behind him. Hell man. I'll have to check it out and we can hopefully talk a little bit more about that because there's been some sick swell at pipe as well we can talk about on another episode. But I reckon that'll wrap it for tonight.
Saying that, between Bradley and I, we're pinging each other a fair bit. Red Bull bike is number one. Red Bull bikes fucking off the hook. Those BMX
Yeah.
Grand Canyon, like I just I just don't get it. Like I can understand dudes charging big waves, like you can see it and everything. Like, I mean, I guess it must be the same sort of thrill.